third up to 2,000 metres can get the job done.
Sayed Duddy's Duddy goes on to win. Rolls as rider came out of the saddle back in the ruck.
And hopefully be too strong late.
Mataga's coming with every bound. Mataga is thrusting now, and Mataga wins. That's a good win.
Welcome to this week's preview. I can't wait for Saturday's racing. Looks a cracker of a card across all 4 states that we're going to look at, as we always do. You'd probably be scratching your head if you're not a YouTube Community Tab follower going, I thought you had 12.75 units spend last week, so doesn't that mean you made profit? I added 7 horses in on race morning. In hindsight, it was way too many, and I ended up being 8 units down. Probably lucky to be 8 units down because Mataga and Sayedati, 2 of my biggest spends, were able to win, which I was happy about. So we'll go down to the Fan Cup now. The month of June is over and the Steps has come in for 2 weeks for 2 wins. Son of Kirk last week kept him on top. And if we go to the overall leaderboard now, let's do a check-in. The Blind GK in front of Daniel Robinson, who I don't think has put a best bet in for 5 weeks or so. And then Razzle Dazzle's in third. The Steps is up to 4th off only 2 bets. And then Admiring Earth in 5th. If you want to enter the Fan Cup and just put your best bet in the comments for free, then follow these rules to do so. Let's get on with the preview now. Kicking off in the first at Flemington with some value, the Next Gen Sprinters Series final, race 1. I've got number 3, Jimmy Ricard, 1 unit the win on at $6.50. We're going to go back to its first ever start in the Debutant Stakes behind Miss Celine, where Bakash is also in the race, so I thought I'd highlight it. Bakash beats Jimmy Ricard by 2 lengths on this occasion. I think Bakash clearly had Jimmy Ricard's measure here. However, Bakash was in the right part of the ground this day down the middle, and Jimmy Ricard got off the leader's back and was on the inside most of the way around. I think the way Jimmy Ricard has come back this prep up in Sydney, nice trial at Randwick before winning its maiden at Gosford. I just think at the current prices, $2.50 Bakash versus $6.50 Jimmy Ricard, there's a lot of more value in Jimmy Ricard, and it's the way I'm kicking off at Flemington. Moving ahead to the Silver Bowl Series final for the 3-year-olds, I'm with number 1 Calcalo in race number 4. 1 unit the win on at $5.50. This was Calcalo's last start run at Flemington in a 3-year-old handicap over 1,400 metres behind Zoo Rain and Hot Diggity Boom. It was a tough day at Flemington this day, a soft 7, and I thought Calcalo raced well. It's 6 or 7 weeks in between runs heading into Saturday, and it's up to a distance it's never seen before, 1,600 metres. You've got to think just based off those 2 things, it's got to be some sort of a query. But when you look at the trainer, it says C Ma, so I'm not doubting it whatsoever. He's one of the best in the business. I reckon he's purposely targeted the Silver Bowl Series final offer led up with this horse. Nobilas, the favourite, might just come out and smash them, but apart from Nobilas, there's not too many superstars in the race, and I think Calcalo, the way it's shown to date, it's got good ability consistently at a high level. I think it can win. I'm going to do a live stream tomorrow doing the form for the other 7 races on the Flemington card. Back in time, we're going to 4 p.m, not 7 p.m. tomorrow, 4 p.m, pretty much because I want to watch Carlton versus Collingwood. So 4 p.m. tomorrow, make sure to tune in if you've got nothing better to do. This is an exciting prospect in the first at Rose Hill, and I'm happy to take the short odds about number 1 Raging Force, 4 units the win on at $2.05. This was its last start win on the Kensington track, a 60k race for 2-year-olds. It won by 4 lengths. And the second horse gapped the third horse, which adds more merit to its performance, I feel. It ran on debut in the Breeders' Plate behind King Kirk. Good SP on that day and disappointed. Went out for a spell, come back, has won at Muswellbrook. Now's done this on the Kensington track. Third up, I think it's just ready to go to another level again. Its starting price profile is awesome. From gate 1, it can either lead or take a sit just in behind the leader. Gate 1 on a wet track at Rose Hill won't be too bad for the first race, and I think Raging Force, the way that it can absolutely demolish fields as it's shown to date, it just makes me want to be with him on Saturday. And in the very next race, race number 2, I'm with horse 3, Zoo Ripper, 2.25 units to the win on at $3.20. This was Zoo Ripper's last start win at Kembla Grange. This was a Class 1 over 1,200 metres, only a 42k race, so it's a bit of a step up in class. However, it got heavily backed in from $5 to $4.40 in this race. It was first up carrying the 60 kilos and it demolished them in the end. I just think this preparation, it's come back a much different horse. Visually looking at this Kembla Grange performance, drops down 5 kilos from last start with Braithnock's Claim from gate 9, can be sort of off midfield, swooping into it and hopefully taking the cash. In race 5, I'm with the ever so consistent Storm the Ramparts, 1.75 units to the win on at $3.20. This was Storm the Ramparts' last start run behind Lulu Mon at Randwick, finishing second. Very unlucky not to win on this day. This horse, since its comeback, this preparation has run second, first, and second. All of those at 1,000 metres, so 1,100 metres is the slight query with the 62.5 kilos. However, I just love the consistency of this horse, and I know that this horse from gate 4 is going to put itself up on speed. Josh Parr is a great rider of horses on speed, as we saw with Overpass, and I think Storm the Ramparts can take out race number 5. This one, I'm not sure how it's going to go, to be honest. Rosehill race 9, number 8, Win Chat, 1 unit the win on at $5. Now, this was its last start run in the Civic Stakes at listed level behind Headley Grange. It tired late. It put itself on speed from a wide barrier. It's drawn gate 13 on Saturday, so it's going to have a similar scenario, but I don't think it has to do as much work to find a spot outside the lead like it did last start. It's 2 from 2 at the track and distance. Back on Rosehill, I think, suits this horse. On a likely softer track, suits this horse, where 4 starts ago, it beat Tabby Time. And I think Win Chat, hopefully he jumps out of the gates well, puts himself in that position, and he'll be a good chance. I'm changing things up this week. Let It Ride is now in the middle of the video, and last week I had Sadati to place. It ended up winning after deductions. $1.70 won the place, so that was good, up to a balance of $17.10, and I'm playing it pretty simple this week. Rosehill race 1, number 1, Raging Force. The place, it's currently $1.35. I think that's good odds, the place, about that horse for a Let It Ride prospect. So Raging Force, hopefully it can demolish them in the first, and if that doesn't happen, hopefully it can run top 3. Kicking things off at Gawler in race number 2, I've got number 4, Bootlegger, 2 units to the win on at $3.20. This was Bootlegger's last start run on debut at Gawler in a maiden over 1,100 metres. Got taken really wide out on the turn, and that's what cost it the win in the end. Only finished a quarter of a length off the eventual winner. This was over 1,100 metres, steps up to 1,200 metres on Saturday, which I think is absolutely ideal. It drew gate 8 of 8 in this replay, so it had to go back to the end of the field. It's now drawn gate 3 on Saturday, so I'm hoping Emily Finnegan can position this horse a little bit closer, and if that happens, all I reckon it needs is a bit of luck in the straight, and it can be winning. Gawler race 3, I'm with number 2, Oxford Blue, 1.75 units to the win at $3.90. We're going back to April for this horse's replay at the Caulfield Heath circuit, where it finished a pimple off Dillinger. This is a no Metro wins race, and if Oxford Blue goes 0.03 lengths better, it wouldn't be in this race at all. So I think this class of race is really good for Oxford Blue. It's 2 from 2 at the 1,700 metres. It's had a 6 to 7 week break since its last run, just like Calcalo, and I think that's what this horse needed, a bit of a freshen up, and I'm hoping Todd Pannell can steer it to victory. And in the very next race, I'm going against one of my favourite horses, Lovely Looking, with the 1, the Great Baby, 1.5 units to the win on at $4.40. This was the Great Baby's last start run, first up in a benchmark 78 over 1,000 metres behind Sir Now. Got backed in good this day, $5 into $4.40, and it was really hitting its motors late, over 1,000 metres to just miss the eventual winner. The step up to 1,100 metres I think is absolutely ideal. It drops in class to a benchmark 74. It's a second up winner in the past, so I like its second up fitter, and I think the Great Baby is ready to win on Saturday in race number 4. This one I was umming and ahhing whether to throw in the preview. It is race 6, number 5, Big Brute, 0.75 units to win on at $7. This was its last start run where it finished 9th of 12 behind Stirrup Cup. It got the perfect run and it ended up losing by 4.5 lengths. So it's not great, but what I like about this horse is the ceiling it can get to. So it was only 5 starts ago that it finished about 2 to 3 lengths off a horse called Gold Rush Guru, who's a Group 1 winner. Gets a senior jockey back on in Jake Toroke. Its starting price profile is really good, and I think from gate 2 it can get a really good run. So I think Big Brute, although it's a bit of an inconsistent horse, if it can show up on Saturday, I think the $7 is over the odds. Race 4 at Sunshine Coast, the 3-year-old handicap over 1,000 metres. I'm with horse 3, Bellegato, 1.25 units to win on at $4.50. This was its last start win in the Derby McCarthy at Doomben, defeating Mayfair. Look, this horse is again 5 to 6 weeks in between runs, and it got the perfect run through on this day to defeat Mayfair. It drew gate 3 of 15 on this day and was able to get the perfect run through. Now it's drawn gate 12. That's my only concern, but just the way that this horse has been performing of late has been really, really good. It loves the track, it loves the distance. Jag Guthman, Chester and this horse have a good affiliation, so Bellegato I'm with in race 4. And in the last at the Sunny Coast, yes, this horse is double figures. I'm with number 11, Ton of Grit, 0.5 units to win on at $12. This was Ton of Grit's last start run behind the Drover at the Sunshine Coast. Was heavily backed here and it looked home for all money at the 200 metres. Ended up losing this race. Look, I just think the value of this horse on Saturday at $12 and potentially even more on the day can't be ignored. It draws absolutely perfectly in gate 5 for Jag Guthman Chester, and it loves this distance. It's run well at the Sunshine Coast before, as we just saw in that replay. Got heavily backed in last start. I think Ton of Grit's over the odds in a weird race to finish the day at the Sunshine Coast in terms of I think it can throw up a surprise like Ton of Grit. And I'm adding a new segment into my preview starting this week. Upcoming now, I've got a segment called Drift or Firm, where pretty much one horse I will predict to drift in terms of who I've got in my unit plays, and one horse to firm. So this is probably targeted at the people who watch my videos to have a bet on my selections, whether to bet now or wait. So we're going to start with bet now. If I had to choose one horse that I think will start shorter than what it currently is on Saturday, it would be Gawler Race 4 number 1, The Great Baby. At the $4.40 mark, I think it's going to start a bit shorter. I think the market will gravitate to the fact that it was really close last start in terms of it only finished 0.2 lengths off the winner. It's fitter second up. It's up to the 1,100 metres, where over 1,000 metres last start it was doing its best work late. And yeah, I think The Great Baby will firm. The horse I think will drift is Ton of Grit. Look, $12. I know you probably want to jump on a betting agency now and just click bet because I've got it and it's double figures. However, I think we might get a better price on Saturday, pretty much because when the markets first open, it's usually between 125 to 130%. And then on race day or close to the race, 115 to 120% is where the market lies. So the percentage has to come out of the market, and that usually comes out of horses $10 or above. So I think Ton of Grit is going to drift. I do think being up in class and up in weight, the market also might push it out a little bit further. I'm not saying that's a bad thing, but I'm just highlighting that's why I think the market will allow it to drift. So that's Drift or Firm for this week. Thanks everyone for watching this week's preview. It's currently an 18.75 unit spend. Look on the YouTube community tab on race morning for more selections. There won't be 7 like last week, but hopefully a couple or a few more. So make sure to stay tuned for that. Tune in for the live stream tomorrow at 4 PM. Hopefully you win on Saturday. And until next week's preview, bye for now.